Good morning, SKN. I'm Jamie Morris.
And I'm Cortenta Carty. And it is Friday. Yay.
What are we yaying about? I keep asking that question.
Because it's the last day of the working week. We have accomplished so much this week, and we have so much more to accomplish over the weekend. But we don't have to come to work tomorrow. So it's a yay for those of us who work from Monday to Friday, that is. So for those of you who work on the weekend, we're really not pushing this in your face, but it's just Friday. It's just the day that everybody just takes it easy, right?
And those of you who didn't buy that explanation, can I get an eye? Because I am one of those who doesn't buy that explanation, but in any event.
Man.
All right, so it's great to be here with you guys. Thank you for joining us again for another edition of Good Morning SKN. We're moving on to the latest in local news.
This from Win Media, SKN. The Nevis Island Assembly election is pending, and the deputy leader of the Nevis Reformation Party, the NRP, the Honorable Cleon Stapleton Simmons, says the atmosphere at present is showing a positive outlook for the NRP. Stapleton Simmons, the only NRP elected member of Parliament, acknowledged NRP's defeat in the recently held St. Kitts Nevis National Assembly election, but equally rejoiced in the significant support to her party from all constituencies. She remains hopeful that the NRP will be victorious when the election is called. Stapleton Simmons said, and quote, "The trend is Nevis tends to show that for the federal elections, the voter turnout is generally lower than the local elections. Nevisians tend to wait in anticipation and participation more actively in the local election as opposed to the general elections. Now, we are quite mindful that we recently had a federal election where CCM regained all three seats. But what is encouraging is the fact that the Nevis Reformation Party made significant strides. We saw an increase in all of the polling divisions, and so we're quite happy about that." End quote. The NRP is set to contest the 5 parliamentary seats in the Nevis Island Assembly elections with 4 female candidates and 1 male candidate. The election is constitutionally due in March 2023. So congratulations to Ms. Cleon Stapleton, and may the best party win.
It's interesting when I hear you read that, because I've known Cleon for about 20 years, and I never envisioned that she would be such a successful politician. So given her stance on what would be the likely outcome of this election in terms of voter turnout, it's going to be interesting to watch. So,
because as she said, they're out campaigning. They're talking to the people.
All right, we're moving on to this news from SKN Vibes. St. Kitts and Nevis has energetically embarked upon the second phase of a UNESCO-funded cultural heritage project entitled Safeguarding St. Kitts and Nevis Intangible Cultural Heritage, or ICH, developing a national intangible cultural heritage policy. Led by local ICH focal contacts Marlene Phillips on St. Kitts and Patrick Howell on Nevis, and backed by UNESCO funds worth US $91,000, the ICH project will benefit from leading-edge UNESCO technical assistance aimed at creating a structured national ICH policy framework to safeguard the knowledge of tradition bearers and also to further identify and preserve individual ICH elements. Welcoming news of the approval of the funding and assistance from UNESCO, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Culture, Valencia Sider, stated, quote, "This is a wonderful opportunity to strengthen an important aspect of the Federation's rich cultural heritage. We anticipate a submission on the final ICH policy framework planned to be presented to the Minister of Culture towards the end of 2023. That's a great story. Anything to preserve our culture. And we had those interviews as well, and we talked with people about how important that is, and it's great to see this development.
We continue now. This from Win Media, SKN. The multi-million-dollar restoration project of the Charlestown Methodist Church officially began on Thursday, November 3rd, 2022, with a groundbreaking ceremony on the grounds of the church. According to project manager Reverend Steadroy Pemberton, phase 1 of the project includes gutting all wooden structures within the building, including the basement support structures such as beams and columns and the roof. Careful restoration of the 178-year-old physical structure will also be a part of phase 1, which prepares the church for worship in 48 weeks. Reverend Veronica Williams Gums officially declared the start of the project. Special recognition was given to Nevis Island administration, the business community, local banks, and members of the Methodist Church for their overwhelming support for the project. The concept to restore the Charleston Methodist Church came about in 2013 when the initial cost was set at $1.5 million, but now stands at $6.5 million due to the rising cost of materials. Phase 1 will cost $3.5 million, while Phase 2 is estimated at $3 million. So I hope they get everything that they need and that the restoration goes well for the church.
It's interesting because when we talk about restoration versus renovation, you understand the differences there. So the fact, however, that the cost of materials rose roughly $5 million in about a 9-year period. 2013, was it 2013?
2013 was the initial start.
When it was estimated at $1.5 million.
Right.
This is incredible. Wow, interesting. Well, we're going to talk about something else that might be on the rise. We're looking at our weather forecast right now. So the weather for today will be partly cloudy with a high of 84 degrees and a low of 76 degrees Fahrenheit. Currently, it is already 82 degrees. Those of you who are already feeling the heat, I sympathize with you if you can get inside like we are and feel a little bit of the cooling breeze from the air conditioning units. That's great. If you can't, stay as safe as you can. Take a look at your forecast as we will be back in a moment with more GMSKN.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN, and it is time now for regional news. This from Loop Caribbean. The International Monetary Fund, the IMF, held a productive meeting with Dominica Prime Minister Roosevelt Scarrett. According to an IMF statement, Deputy Managing Director Bo Lee visited Dominica to discuss the existential threat of climate change and its impact on the island, how the IMF can support the country with its disaster resilience strategy, and how to mobilize climate financing from various global players. During the meeting with the Prime Minister, IMF discussed Dominica's susceptibility to natural disasters, how it has rebuilt since Hurricane Maria, strategies for sustainable development, and how the IMF can support the country's mobilized climate finance. Deputy Managing Director Bo Lee stated that his visit to the island had 2 objectives. First is to continue to build on the visit of IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva earlier this year to continue to strengthen the agency's collaboration with the Caribbean, particularly Dominica, and second is to hear from Prime Minister Scarrett and his cabinet on the challenges of climate change in Dominica. So 2 very important objectives here, and grateful to hear that it was a productive meeting.
Indeed, and that Dominica will continue to get help to rebuild.
Definitely right. Very important indeed.
We continue with international news. Climate activists sentenced to prison for Vermeer protest is from CNN. A Dutch court sent 2 Belgian climate change activists to prison Wednesday for a protest targeting Johannes Vermeer's painted girl with a pearl earring. The demonstrators, who are part of the campaign group Just Stop Oil Belgium were each given sentences of 2 months, one of which was suspended. In a widely shared video of last week's incident at the Mauritius Museum in The Hague, a man is seen gluing his head to the famous artwork. Another protester is yet to be sentenced, then poured a can of tomato soup on the first man's shirt before affixing his own hand to the wall mounted. A third person filmed the stunt. In a press release announcing the ruling, the prosecutors said they had wanted to send out a signal to two activists, adding, "An artwork hanging there for everyone, all of us to enjoy, has been smeared by the defendants who felt their message took precedence over everything else." Prosecutors had initially asked for 4 months, with 2 suspended, but the judge said she did not want her sentence to discourage other people from demonstrating, according to Reuters. I don't understand this. So you're giving them, so they can continue to demonstrate, but they will get prison term?
Listen, the whole thing for me, it's interesting because when we talk about protests, I understand protests, but protests within reason. I don't know that this necessarily was a reasoned protest, at least not that act anyway.
Yeah, it's a painting.
It is what it is.
It's not something that's...
Painting for all of us, as you rightly stated in that
for
story,
everybody to enjoy.
for everyone to enjoy. And so that, desire to enjoy is trumped by a personal protest. And it's just one of those things that seemingly doesn't make any sense.
None whatsoever.
In any event, we know what will make sense for you. We're at the end of the latest for today, but coming up in this morning's show, we will be speaking with a regional-based singer, gospel artist, in fact, Nadine Tal. Looking forward to that interview.
Yes, and we also will be speaking about tsunamis. Tomorrow is actually Tsunami Day with Ulrika Lennon Petty. I'm mixing up her name this morning. And then we got so much more. I think there's a game here where I can beat yours truly,
Yeah, who's keeping stock of that? Well,
it's Friday. I have to end the weekend on a bang. I have to end the weekend on a bang.
We're keeping stock of the time. We will be back in a moment with more Good Morning SKN. Stay tuned.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
These teen boys nowadays get me so upset. I see these teen girls with their big bellies and you want to tell me y'all couldn't protect her and yourself? Come on. Now don't tell me no stupidness about you feel embarrassed about getting a pack of condoms or asking somebody for one. That ain't nothing to be ashamed about. You should be proud that you are making a wise decision, but you still have to abstain from having sex with someone under the age of consent. If your boys are pressuring you to have sex and you don't want to, then don't. You are in charge of your life, not them. I heard another one saying it's sweeter without a condom. But my granny always told me, no glove, no love. So let me tell you something. It's sweeter to have money in your pockets and not have to support a child at that young age. Before I say anything else, the best way to prevent teenage pregnancy is to abstain. In other words, not do it. Let me talk to the big men troubling underage girls.
Why you sleeping with your daughter?
Disabled is at 465-2241, social services at 467-1314, or the St. Kitts Nevis Association of Disabled Persons at 465-2151, 663-9077, or 663-4116. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO.
Since the dawn of human existence, it would be correct to say that natural disasters have always been a source of anxiety. To this day, hazards such as landslides, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and even lightning have continued to be scary events. One natural hazard that is becoming a growing cause for concern is tsunamis. In fact, tomorrow, Saturday, 5th November, is World Tsunami Awareness Day. To enlighten us on this phenomenon is Ulrika Lennon-Petty, the acting Deputy National Disaster Coordinator at the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. Good morning, Ulrika. Welcome back to Good Morning SKN.
Good morning. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Well, I know that when you come, we're going to be packed with information, important information. And so right now, since we are going to be talking about World Tsunami Day, for the benefit of those who might not be aware, can you tell us what the full definition of a tsunami is?
The whole definition of a tsunami is a series of waves, series of high waves that are caused by a number of different things. It can be caused by earthquake, landslides, underwater volcanic eruptions, to name a few. And so each year on the 5th of November, it is recognized as World Tsunami Awareness Day. It was first recognized in 2015. It was first recognized by 2015, and it was pushed by Japan because, Japan, unfortunately, is more prone to tsunamis and have been prone to tsunamis in the past. And it is a day where the preparedness and awareness of tsunamis, the importance of such, is pushed and recognized worldwide.
That's a very important fact indeed. I do remember seeing the footage when the most devastating tsunami, I think in recent times, actually struck, and it was devastating. So I can understand the importance of this day and how we came to be, noting this day as well.
Exactly. Was it Thailand that had the big tsunami when? I'm trying to remember where that big tsunami was.
It was in the Orient, somewhere there.
When I remember sawing that person up in the coconut tree and the water still covered the coconut tree.
Ulrika, does that scare you at all?
What is Indonesia, maybe?
Yes, that's
exactly. That's where it was. So, Ulrika, are there any warning signs that we should look for that a tsunami is going to strike?
Yes, there are actually some warning signs. We like to say feel, see, hear, run. So if you feel the earth shaking, and shaking in a sense that it's shaking for a long time, we like to say at least a minute. And in a strong way such that you cannot keep upright. Of course, you do the DCH first, but once that shaking stops, we encourage persons to head to higher ground or further inland, even before they get notice from the local authorities that a tsunami may be imminent. Here, if you see the sea receding, because before a tsunami comes onshore, it will draw the sea back. So you will see the sea receding, so you'll be able to see the seabed. You might even see fishes, are just there. Understand? Yeah, so don't go out and take up those fish. You head further inland or to higher ground. If you hear a loud roar, because before tsunami impacts, it comes with a noise. It comes with a loud roaring. And so if you hear that, well, you know that you may be about to be impacted by a tsunami. And especially if you hear that roar, that means you're a bit too close to the sea. You may be a bit too close to the sea, so you get to high ground or inland as quickly as possible. And of course, the last thing, run, which is the action. Well, we like to say run, but we really encourage you walk briskly to higher ground or further inland. So we say feel, see, hear, run when it comes to the warning signs and the actions when as it pertains to tsunamis.
All right, I would ask you though, run if you can, walk briskly if you can't run. Is that to avoid stampedes and other things like that?
Yes, it's to avoid stampedes, because could you imagine you're in a crowded room and everyone decides to run out that one door, what will happen?
Definitely so. All right, so for this question, Eureka, I want to ask you if it is your experience that people, particularly here, tend to turn a blind eye to the possibilities of tsunamis occurring. And I'll ask you in the context of the fact that our capital city, Basseterre, is actually below sea level. And so when we think of the way that we conduct our normal activities, how possible is it that people actually think this is a real threat?
Well, because Basseterre is below sea level, in fact, if you look at the Indonesian maps of St. Kitts and Nevis, you'll see that there are some areas in particular that will be completely covered by water. Basseterre is actually one of them. And so it is important for persons to actually know the tsunami zones, tsunami hazard zones. And for the entire Basseterre, if you're in Basseterre and you get a tsunami warning, then you definitely need to evacuate the Basseterre area. Another area where that is of concern for us is, of course, the peninsula, because the neck of the peninsula is so narrow that it actually potentially can be cut off completely by water. And so that's another area that we have to be mindful of. Of course, we like to use a guideline of anything that is basically below the main road, island-wide, will be affected, can be affected by a tsunami. Of course, we've identified some possible tsunami assembly points. An assembly point is there to either, is a gathering point. It is there to either tell persons that the threat have passed or that the threat is worse than we originally calculated, because we've done the worst case scenario where 30-meter inland 100-foot wave. But however, worst case scenarios can get even worse. So an assembly point is there to essentially tell persons that they will need to move further inland. They are there to provide further information. Of course, if the threat has passed, you can, relocate back down, or if, we need to set up tents or what have you. It has to be a space that is government owned and is accessible to the public 24/7. And so that's how we choose our assembly points around St. Kitts and Nevis.
The yellow that we see on this map that we have here, is that the water? Because I'm seeing the part of the peninsula that you would have. Oh, okay. I was just told that you won't be able to see what we're seeing. So,
yeah, I won't be able to see what you're seeing, but let me pull up our tsunami map so that
based on what you said, Eureka, I think Cortez is correct, and it's what you said.
Yes,
it actually
the yellow
coincides
is
with what you
where
said.
the water is. So the yellow represents water. Yes.
Okay, no problem. So we know that, and I'm sure you know this too, that a tsunami once struck Jamestown in Nevis.
Yes.
Completely put it underwater. What can you tell us about this incident, and have there been any other incidents of tsunamis here in St. Kitts and Nevis?
So for St. Kitts and Nevis, fortunately, the only record for, and I hope it stays that way, of a tsunami, and at the time when that actually impacted Jamestown, which was the former capital of Nevis, they actually referred to it as a tidal wave. They have now upgraded it and said that it was actually a tsunami. And that happened in 1690. It was triggered by an earthquake. And so after they had the earthquake, they would have had the tsunami that completely covered Jamestown. And I don't think a lot of people even know that Jamestown was once the capital and what caused it to be destroyed. So that's actually interesting because when we tell persons about tsunamis, they like to say, oh, St. Kitts and Nevis, we never had a tsunami, so why should we worry about that? But then we like to remind them that in fact we actually did have a tsunami in 1690 in Jamestown, Nevis. So we are definitely vulnerable to tsunamis, and we've seen the possibility of what that can do.
Very scary stuff, but important to get the word out. We'll continue this discussion on the other side of the break. Stay tuned, everyone.
Good morning, this is Carol from Lux Carnival, and I listen to Good Morning SKN.
Children, how can you tell a tsunami coming?
Teacher me.
Sammy?
My mother said when uncle jump in the pool and the water spoosh out, that's how you tell a tsunami coming.
Settle down, children, settle down. Do you remember our tsunami song?
Yes! When you feel it shaking and it's moving around, you see the ocean gone left the fish and the sand. You should run to higher ground, a tsunami soon come. Mommy, uncle not here and the other shake.
Hush your mouth.
Daddy, uncle not here and the sea gone.
Who cares? You don't see all them free fish? Quick, give me the bag.
This is how you tell a tsunami a come. Teacher says so. I would have failed in school, you know.
Sammy, come, let me go. They would have failed anyhow. They will run, see, Sammy?
When you feel the earth shaking and it's moving all around, you see the ocean gone, let the fish on the sand. You should run to higher ground, a tsunami soon come.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We are speaking with Ulrika Lennon-Petty. She is the Acting Deputy National Disaster Coordinator at the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. Ulrika, what is the likelihood of St. Kitts and Nevis getting another tsunami?
It's very likely. The UV Seismic Research Center has actually said that the Caribbean region on a whole is overdue for a tsunami, unfortunately. And so that is one of the reasons why we've been pushing tsunami awareness, tsunami preparedness, because, given our geographic location, we are surrounded by water, and any island, any country that is surrounded by water is vulnerable to tsunami, because tsunami is a water hazard.
Okay, that just alarmed me. I'm like, all my bells are going off. We are overdue for a tsunami. When I hear things like that, I go, okay, maybe it's time to fly out. In any event, I don't have that option, Ulrika. But what I want to know now, more specifically, is anything that you didn't tell us before about tsunami preparedness. The last time you were here, we talked about evacuation zones. We talked about the way that you mobilized people in certain communities. So what can you tell us about ongoing tsunami preparedness?
So the most important thing about tsunami preparedness, as we said, we discussed earlier, is the warning signs of a tsunami. And there are actually other natural warning signs that you can look for. If you speak to an older person, they will always say that you always look at how animals behave, because some animals, they are actually more sensitive and in touch with nature than we are. And so when something's wrong, like for example, when a hurricane is coming, you know, if you ever realize that if the hurricane is going to be a strong category hurricane, that the birds actually disappear. So it's the same thing with a tsunami, with an earthquake and a tsunami. You would see animals. If you know you have an animal in a cage, for example, and you see it, it's normally calm, and all of a sudden it's trying to get out, and you see animals just acting strangely and erratically trying to move from the shore, and that you see them heading up. You know that something definitely is off. And so we tell persons along with the signs that we encourage persons to know your native signs as well, and that includes animals, that your pet animals as well as the local animals that surround you. Once you see them behaving erratically, you know that something is off.
Very important
in
indeed.
terms of preparedness, well, we encourage persons to keep informed of all the necessary information, know what your danger.
Erika, I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm sorry. Could you repeat that? Because we lost audio for a little bit from preparedness.
Okay, that's fine. In terms of preparedness, I always encourage persons to know the tsunami evacuation routes as well as the tsunami hazard zones, and they can do that by going on our NEMA.kn page and accessing this tsunami hazard maps. You can also look at the signs that we have around the island. If you see a sign that says tsunami evacuation route, then you know you're definitely in a tsunami hazard zone. We have some that also say tsunami hazard zones, and as well as the assembly points, the tsunami assembly points. All of that is actually depicted on the map. What we encourage persons to do is take a walk. You need to know how long it takes you to get from point A to point B. So one afternoon, you and your family members, you can just take a walk. If you live, for example, if you live in Sandy Point, and your assembly point would be Brimstone Hill or the Sandy Point Community Center, then we encourage persons from your home, you and your family, you walk there and you time yourself to know how long does it take you to get from point A to point B, so that you know how much time you have to evacuate. We encourage persons, of course, to have a family emergency plan that states, what they will do if this happens, where each family member would go, because it ain't necessarily that you're going to be home if a tsunami strikes. So you may be at work, you may be just lying on the beach. So it's important for your other family members to know that at such and such point, if my father is at work in Bastia, then I know he will evacuate to the bypass road. I will not go to the bypass road. If I am in Sandy Point, I will go to my assembly point, but at least the family emergency plan will tell you where each family member should be, so that after you can go there and you agree on a meeting point, who is going to go to that meeting point, because you don't want two persons leaving the meeting points to go look for each other. So we encourage simple things like that. We actually encourage, because unlike a hurricane that gives you advance warning, a tsunami does not give you much warning at all. Because if it's a local tsunami, meaning it's coming from within the region, you have 30 minutes or less. So these are things that you have to be mindful of.
I have a quick follow-up question for you, Eureka. It goes back to what you said about avoiding stampedes earlier. I'm questioning whether it's advisable, if we get those warnings, to drive to those points. I know that you said to take a walk to see how long it would take you. What if people say, you know what, I think it might be better if I take my transportation? Are we running the risk here of bottlenecks and putting more people at risk that way, or is that advantageous? Have you thought about that?
We are definitely running the risk of bottlenecks. In fact, that's actually one of the most popular questions that we get when we speak about evacuating to higher ground. Can I jump in my vehicle? At the time, no. We, the first responders, police, would actually be there telling persons to get out and go to higher ground. Of course, if we provide the option for the vulnerable groups, like persons with young babies, pregnant women, persons who have a physical disability, we understand that those persons may not be able to actually walk to the assembly point. But so in that case, they will allow you to actually drive. But if you're an able-bodied person, then you definitely will have to walk. And we say walk because imagine traffic 4 o'clock on a Friday in Bastia, how tight that is. So imagine if the entire island, everybody jump in their vehicle and try to get to the same point, and you only have 30 minutes, what will happen? And so that's why we encourage persons to walk.
Makes a lot of sense. So, Ulrika, in closing, we would like to ask you to take this opportunity to stress the importance of tsunami awareness and preparation.
Okay, so yes, so tsunami awareness and preparation is very important. It's important to know your warning sign as well as your risk in terms of your geographical location, especially if you live in a tsunami hazard zone. Even if you don't, it's still important to know because you don't know where you will be at the time, because I'm sure we don't just stay in our homes. We move about. So it's important to know. I always encourage persons to familiarize themselves with the tsunami hazard maps for the entire island, not just where you work and where you live, but for the entire island. We also encourage persons, of course, to know the natural warning signs as well as the encouraged warning signs and the actions to be taken for both earthquake. As I said, sometimes it can be triggered by an earthquake. And what you don't want to happen is, because of a strong earthquake, persons running up and down because they said, oh, strong earthquake, tsunami. Of course, we want them to do the DCH first before, drop cover hold on before they evacuate, if that's the case. So we encourage persons to know the correct actions for the particular hazard and to act accordingly. And of course, if they need more information, they can always reach out to the agency. We are always happy to have these conversations with persons and to assist them and answer any questions that they may have.
Thank you so very much. As I said when we started this, it's going to be packed with information and definitely important information. Always a pleasure catching up with you, Ulrika. Thank you for the important work that you do. And thank you for joining us for this edition.
It's always a pleasure to be on Good Morning SKN with you guys.
Much appreciated. We'll be back in a moment with more. Stay tuned, everyone.
Welcome to another edition of Infused Friday. We have another great infused water recipe for you to try out. Pineapple and sweet red bell pepper. I know what you're thinking, but this will bring a pep in your step. Here are some of the benefits you may experience from this exotic combination. Pineapple juice is rich in a variety of vitamins and minerals. It's especially packed with manganese, copper, vitamin B6 and vitamin C, all of which play important roles in the proper functioning of your body. Red capsicum or red bell pepper contains lycopene and a phytonutrient which helps to keep a healthy heart. It is also a rich source of folate and vitamin B6 along with antioxidants known to protect the body against free radicals. I know you cannot wait to try out this amazing fruit and vegetable infusion. Let's get you started with the following ingredients. You will need 6 pineapple cubes, 6 red capsicum cubes, enough fresh water to fill your jug or bottle. And the directions. Remember to wash your ingredients well. Chop and slice ingredients as necessary. Add to ingredients to a large jug or bottle. Stir ingredients and add fresh water and stir. Let it infuse, settle, and then serve into tall glasses. Can you taste the goodness already? Add more to your H2O. Check out the Facebook page every Friday for refreshing infused water recipes.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
I need some veggies for dinner. Let me just check the amount of sodium in this can. Oh no, this is too much. Let me try our next option. They did say it's healthy to consume less salt. This is much better. I am salt smart.
back to Good Morning SKN. How well do you know the Caribbean? Can you identify the country based on its flag? What about the capital or even its shape? Well, today's game will be related to one of those. Jamie and I will go head to head to identify Caribbean countries based on their capitals. Jamie, are you ready?
I'm never ready, but hey, we're going to do it anyway.
Yes, let's play. I even have a new dance today. It's called the landfowl or the chicken.
You don't want to see this. I guarantee you don't want to see this.
You will want to see it. You will want to see it. And you will see it in time.
Say it isn't so. Nancy, why do you want to punish our viewers?
Because it's called a new game dance.
It's fun to punish the viewers. Wow. Okay.
It's called a land.
I think we need to get the show on the road.
Oh, so match the capital to the country. I know this. Netherlands, I think.
Tortola?
If you say Tortola, oh my gosh, I don't even know what side to run. Curacao.
Okay.
Oh,
I knew
man.
it was Dutch. Sure.
Okay,
right.
I missed that one. I said Netherlands, but it's
you were
Curacao.
close. Yeah, the ABC Islands, sorry. Grenada.
That was too easy for Jamie. Dominican Republic, I thank you. Jamie, should I do the landfall?
Can somebody catch her? Like, seriously? That's what some people do.
St. Lucia. Got there before him.
Guadeloupe.
Why? You could have said St. Kitts. Let me get you.
No, it's not spelled like that.
It's just separated. It's spelled like that. It just has a hyphen.
Exactly, so it's not spelled like that. The hyphen is included.
Just move the hyphen and it belongs to St. Kitts. Anguilla. I'm not going to do the land for
Haiti. Barbados.
We both got that. Never adult, never adult, never adult. Moment in Barbados. No, that wasn't a land flap. I'm going to try Aruba. I don't know. I'm just trying.
Martinique.
What's that? I never knew that. Right? Did you know that?
After the eruption of the Suffolk Hills volcano, the capital changed.
Oh, it changed to braids. What was it originally called?
Plymouth.
Plymouth. Yes, yes. Because that's what I'm like shocked. Like braids? What's up with that? Come on, yeah.
Antigua.
I just go to buzz again. But then
St. Kitts.
cheating, St. Kitts.
like your flight attendant friend.
She's American, St. Kitts. Ooh. Never done.
Cuba. Or should I say Cuba?
Why are my points not moving? And I said it first. I just feel the person that's doing the points today.
Turnabout is fair play, Hortensia. It happens to me all the time. It's just catching up with you in this one game.
I have said it with you, before you, or with you, and I've not been seeing my points move up.
I think it's because you decided to torment the viewers with your dancing.
With my yard foul? Don't worry.
So they're punishing you for your dance.
Whoa. We're still gonna do the yard foul. Fort de France. That is a Martinique. I thank you.
Wow. Dominica.
We said it together, so we deserve the points together. Who said it first?
We're about to find out.
Cheat. Russia will not stand for this.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. You're on fleek today, Jamie.
I'm certain I said Puerto before you did, but anyway, I'm going to keep it. Keep it. There
You
point
said Puerto
adjustments.
before. Wow, this is rough. Jamaica. I did. Jamaica.
I don't think you guys know what's going on even. I think that we're going to need the playback and slow-mo to find out what's going on here. Jamaica.
I think we are both too smart for our own goods with these captions.
Yes.
Okay, you get that one. That one is fair and square. That one is fair
The others
and
were
square.
too, Cortensia.
No, because we said them
others
almost
were.
at the same time. I can't.
Almost doesn't count. Did you not listen to Brandy?
Do I need to be the big bad fowl of the yard?
Wow. Please don't, Torbet. I'm having that image. I can't get it out of my head. No.
Trinidad.
Okay, you got that one. And Tobago, by the way. All right, so who gets that one now?
Whatever. You can give it to Jamie. I will still be your fowl.
Because it's...
Give it to Jamie. Fair and square. I didn't say the entire thing. St. Martin.
Oh, Lord, no. No. Why?
Don't we have more?
Where's the same enthusiasm that we saw before?
What?
You know.
That you won by one?
Okay, well,
I
there
got
you
the
go.
enthusiasm. Flop, flop.
No, I beg you, please, Lord. Make it stop.
Guys, tell me that you love GMSK Nation. Tell me you love the yard fowl. That's the new dance. The yard fowl. Yeah.
Cortensia, make it stop. You're the only one who has, I'm going to be like Smokey the Bear now. Only you can prevent the torture. Make it stop.
Not
Like
nice.
Smokey says about forest fires, yeah. Well, actually, you're not the only one because we can actually go to commercial and then they can prevent it that way.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah,
No.
this was a great segment, however.
But I think I was supposed to win, but they weren't catching on that I was saying most of it more than Jamie.
Really, is
So
that
I'm
how
gonna
it
leave
goes?
happy with my yard fowl.
Oh dear God.
I'm gonna leave happy with my yard.
Can we go to commercial? I'm waiting for. I beg you. Thank you so much for staying.
Before we go to commercial, who do we have up next? Yes.
Who do we have? Okay, since you did
Yes.
it. What is that?
Ladies and gents, stay tuned much more after this short break. It's Friday. It is Friday. Congrats, Jamie.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Hi. If you are a smoker, please pay attention to this message. According to the World Health Organization, there are 1.3 billion smokers in the world today, and tobacco kills 1 out of every 2 smokers. Did you know that there is enough nicotine in 5 cigarettes to kill an average adult if ingested whole? There are more than 7,000 chemicals in tobacco smoke, of which more than 250 are known to be harmful. More than 69 are known to cause cancer, and 16 are classified as Group 1 carcinogens. Smoking kills. Are you ignoring that warning every time you smoke? Please stop. Smoking can lead to severe health complications and even death. It affects almost every organ in the body, especially the lungs and heart. It raises blood pressure, increases blood clots, and increases the risk of stroke, heart attack, and cancer. It is hard to quit smoking, but it is not impossible. Don't let tobacco destroy you. Remember the 4 Ds to curb your tobacco cravings. 1. Delay. Set a time limit before you decide to smoke. 2. Drink water. Go get a drink before you do anything else. 3. Do something else. Have a goodie bag handy of other things to do. And 4. Deep breathing. Take at least 10 deep breaths every time you think about smoking. Quit smoking and live a longer and happier life. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, St. Kitts and Nevis.
Welcome to another edition of Infused Friday. We have another great infused water recipe for you to try out. Pineapple and sweet red bell pepper. I know what you're thinking, but this will bring a pep in your step. Here are some of the benefits you may experience from this exotic combination. Pineapple juice is rich in a variety of vitamins and minerals. It's especially packed with manganese, copper, vitamin B6 and vitamin C, all of which play important roles in the proper functioning of your body. Red capsicum or red bell pepper contains lycopene and a phytonutrient which helps to keep a healthy heart. It is also a rich source of folate and vitamin B6 along with antioxidants known to protect the body against free radicals. I know you cannot wait to try out this amazing fruit and vegetable infusion. Let's get you started with the following ingredients. You will need 6 pineapple cubes, 6 red capsicum cubes, enough fresh water to fill your jug or bottle. And the directions. Remember to wash your ingredients well. Chop and slice ingredients as necessary. Add to ingredients to a large jug or bottle. Stir ingredients and add fresh water and stir. Let it infuse, settle, and then serve into tall glasses. Can you taste the goodness already? Add more to your H2O. Check out the Facebook page every Friday for refreshing infused water recipes.
Has anyone ever touched you here, here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Let's face it, most parents or guardians don't want to think about their teens having sex, let alone contemplate the possibility that they might get pregnant or get someone pregnant. Teenage pregnancy is a situation that involves female adolescents. A teenage female can be pregnant as early as age 12 or 13, although it is usually 14 and older. The fact that teenagers become pregnant is related to many factors. Here are some tips to decrease teen pregnancy. Teach teenagers comprehensive sex education. Target messages at teen boys, not just girls. Get the whole community involved. Encourage mentoring, parental involvement, and support. This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Good morning, SKN, and good morning, Caribbean. Every Friday, we got a bit further than our shores in St. Kitts and Nevis and invite guests from our Caribbean neighbors to share their talents, cultures, events, and experiences with us. For today's Caribbean Connections, we are joined by the beautiful Nadine Toole, a native of St. Lucia, but living in Barbados. Nadine is a gospel artist who uses her songs to help spread the good news of Jesus. She has won many awards and performed at large events such as the St. Lucia Jazz Festival, the World Championships of Performing Arts in Los Angeles, Hollywood, ministering along Regina McCree and the McCree sisters, and theatrical collaborations in tribute to Derek Walcott under the patronage of Joseph Marcel, Jeffrey, NBC sitcom, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They are just a few of the accomplishments of our next guests on Caribbean Connections. Welcome, Nadine, to Good Morning SKN, and welcome to Caribbean Connections. Welcome, Nadine, and welcome to Caribbean Connections.
Thank you. Should I
Yes,
go ahead and turn it on now?
What is...
Hello, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me clearly? Oh, the internet seems to be messing up again.
I can hear you clearly. Can you see me?
Well, at the moment, not now, but we do have a lovely picture of you on screen whilst we do this interview.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So we will begin. What is the intention and purpose of gospel music?
I think that the intention and purpose of gospel music is to heal, to facilitate healing, and to remind people, especially those who have never experienced love that the author of love has a place in his heart for them. And so I believe that gospel music is supposed to communicate that in different ways.
Lovely, lovely. So your passion for music, where did it come from, Nadine?
Oh, well, I think it's innate. As far back as I can remember, I was the 5-year-old preschooler who would be the one with her mouth wide open in front of the microphone. And then anytime I was called on to sing, I just seemed to have this innate love for music. And so by the time I got to primary school, I was in the choir, and people started complimenting me on how my singing would take them to different places. And so I started to believe them. And long story short, I was usually given the solo parts, and then I was called to represent my country in various places around the world. Compliments continued coming in. And then I realized that this was not just a hobby, but a calling, because I saw how the music affected people in such a positive way.
Indeed, indeed. So you mentioned starting your career since the age of 5. So at what point did you consider making music and singing a profession?
Well, I think that once I became a teenager and people realized that, hey, we could somehow monetize this gift, a certain band contacted my family. They were the leader of the band was a family friend, and they asked if my parents would allow me to sing at various hotels around the island at the time. And so I started singing and making money from the time I was 13 years old, hopping from hotel to hotel with this band.
Nice. So other than performing at the hotel and some of the places that we would have mentioned in your introduction, can you tell us where else you would have performed?
So I would have been to several places around the region. I mean, I could name some countries, basically almost every Caribbean island, Grenada, Dominica, Barbados, Trinidad, St. Lucia, Jamaica. Like you mentioned in your introduction, I have performed at the St. Lucia Jazz Festival alongside Lisa Vandross and Patti LaBelle. I actually spent a day with her. I have done the World Championships of the Performing Arts in Los Angeles, been to Hollywood. I've done all these things, but there was a void. I remember being in Hollywood and seeing how everything was so staged. And in my mind, I translated that to being artificial. It was an artificial experience for me. And I decided in that moment that I needed something more. And that is where I believe my decision was birthed. In my decision to use my gift to bring healing. And what better way to do that than through my own faith?
Amen. So the question of the morning, what has been your best performance of your career thus far?
Oh my, that is a hard question. I think because it's all relative. When I did the jazz festival, I would say that singing jazz on that main stage was certainly among some of my best performances. But then when I sing in church or I sing at Christian events and people come up to me in tears at the end and say, you just don't know what you did for me. You don't know what I was going through. And there's something about your voice. There's something about the way you carry a song that touched me at my core. I don't know what to do with that, except to say that, it's not me. It has to be someone greater than me working through me.
Indeed. The producer, Roger Ryan, tell us, how has it been working with him?
Like liquid gold. Liquid gold.
I like that.
I say liquid gold. I say liquid gold because Everything he does is excellent. So that's the gold part. Liquid, because he is so versatile. I mean, you walk into the studio, because I've been to Nashville, I've been to his studio. You walk into the studio, you're like, hey, Raj, we've known each other for like over 20 years. I said, I have a song and I think it's really going to minister. And he's like, okay, let's hear it. And so I sing it and then he starts to play it. And the way he interprets that song musically makes me shut my mouth. I'm like, he somehow he musically interprets the song in a way that I could never imagine. And I just think that that's priceless. He is like the best or the most, I don't know how to describe it. I think he's still a secret. He should be more known than he is right now, but he tends to stay in the background. And I realize there's a lot more promotion happening, from his team. So very soon, I believe the world is going to hear a lot more about Mr. Roger Ryan. I mean, we're talking about how many he had? I think he has 8 Grammy nominations, 3 of which were winning projects. He has worked with Whitney Houston, Brian McKnight, CeCe Winans. I mean, yeah. I think he was also CeCe Winans' first music director.
Ooh. So you were working with a big shot then?
Well, he doesn't call himself that. He's like one of the most humble people ever.
That's so sweet. That's so sweet. And congrats on working with him. Nadine will take a short break, but we will come back with you after this. GMSKN Nation, stay tuned.
Sure.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Oh, come here.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. And, good morning, Caribbean. We continue with Caribbean Connections with Nadine Tell from Barbados. And we'll begin the segment this way. The cover of Through It All, featuring Joel Brooks, features the 2 of you, Nadine, in the studio. It's such a simple yet impactful. It was such a simple yet impactful thing. What was behind the idea of shooting this video? And you know what? Can you tell us?
Okay, I think what you're asking, because we're still having some a few
Audio
glitches with the sound,
difficulties. Do
but you're asking
apologize.
about the Through It All video that I did, the
Yes.
collaboration with,
With Joel.
with
Yes.
Joel Brooks. That was actually done after a very good friend of mine passed away. I was supposed to go to the States to sing at his funeral, but couldn't make it. And I wanted to find a way to be there. And so I contacted Roger Ryan and I asked him, this is the producer we just spoke about. And I said, could you please just make me a track for this song? Because I think that it encapsulates everything that I want to say to his mom, because he was just about my age. He was a young guy when, cancer claimed his life. And, she said, okay. So he said, fine. And he literally just went onto the piano and played it once. So the track that you're hearing in that video is actually just a one-time play composition. And I went on and sang it with Joel Brooks. Joel, as you saw, did an amazing job with the video. He actually did some BVs for me, as you would see. And then he did some video work as well, which he did a great job. The original video actually has footage of my friend. So that's also available on YouTube. And, it was just a very moving time for me. And I was trying to find a way to reach his mom, to touch his mom, to touch his family. And what better way than through Andre Crouch's Through It All.
Well, we're going to take a look at that video right now, Nadine. So here it is.
I had many tears and sorrows. I had questions for tomorrow. There've been times I didn't know right from wrong. But in every situation, God gave me blessed consolation that the trial comes only to make me strong. I've seen a lot of people, and I've been millions of places. There were times when I felt so all alone. In my lonely hours, those precious lonely hours, Jesus let me know that I'm his own. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus, learned to trust in God. Trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon his word.
Beautiful indeed. So can you enlighten us on your songwriting process? How is that? How are you inspired? Do you just take out a pen and a pencil and write?
Well, I'm an emotional being, and emotions and art have a thing going on. So when I feel something, when I'm going through a particular experience, a thought may come to my mind, and then I begin to write. And sometimes when I experience something that touches me emotionally, a melody jumps into my heart, and I begin to hum it. For me, the melody always comes first. And I get the entire melody, and sometimes I'm able to put the lyrics in through inspiration almost immediately. And sometimes it takes days, weeks, months, sometimes years. And the song that I'm working on currently with Mr. Roger Ryan, the melody similarly came almost immediately years ago, but the lyrics took some time to come. And that's pretty much what my process is. I write the song and then I sing it to people who are close to me and get some feedback and decide, okay, should I tweak this? Should I tweak that? but that's what typically happens. Melody, then lyrics.
Nadine, what does it
Hi,
take,
Jamie.
in your estimation? Hi, I feel like this is the first time we're having this conversation. This is so funny. All right, so what does it take to be a gospel singer?
Oh, a lot of, first of all, love for the Lord, because, you know, there are people who sing and they sing really well technically, but, you know, they don't know how to really carry the spirit of the message, because maybe their hearts are in the wrong place. Maybe, you know, their motivations are wrong, you know, but it takes a certain level of relationship with God, I believe, to be able to communicate the spirit of God. I think that's first and foremost what it takes, a real relationship with God. And that doesn't mean that you always get it right, because we all make mistakes and we all fall. But I think it has something to do with the direction of our lives. We don't stay fallen. We pick ourselves up and we move again. And then it takes knowledge, training. You know, I have had to have voice training for, you know, over a period of time with different people, Judy Rodman, most recently Angela Henry, who happens to be the business manager of Roger Ryan. She's just one of the most beautiful people I've ever met, and you know, she has invested time in me. It takes a group of committed and talented people around you who share your vision in different capacities, right? Some who would be experts in the business side of things, some who are the creatives, you know, and I think that through, you know, a shared vision, and we're able to collaborate and do this and try to contribute to the growth of the kingdom.
What was the most challenging song you have completed to date? And I would also ask your favorite song, and I know Jamie likes to do this. Can we have a verse from it? Can you sing a verse from it?
Oh my gosh. The most challenging song I've done must have been a jazz song, you know. Okay. I don't really, you know, I think I did a tribute to Ella Fitzgerald at some time in the jazz festival. You know, the ones that you know, I haven't done that in a while.
Oh, nice.
Listen, that's phenomenal.
I think
that's nice.
I say thank you. I think that my favorite song right now, because I mean, it's almost impossible to ask a singer what's your favorite song because it's seasonal, is Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. There is something about that name. He is Master, Savior, Jesus, like a fragrance after the rain. Oh, Jesus, 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 there is something about that name. Kings and kingdoms may all pass away, but there's something about, there is something about, there is something about that name.
If you are ever in St. Kitts, I want dibs on background vocals with you. I was singing that with you in my head. I don't know what it would sound like.
You're kind. The voice is still warming up.
Well, if that's how it is when you're warming up, I tell you.
This is the first time I'm singing for the morning, so I excuse my morning voice.
If that's your morning voice, I can't wait to hear, you know, the midday, evening, afternoon voice. This is great. Nadine, thank you so much.
Thank you
for taking the time to speak with us today. It's been our pleasure. We wish you every success in your future endeavors. Truly an
It's
honor.
been a pleasure. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. You're welcome, Nadine. Talk again. We will talk
Thank
again
you.
sometime soon.
More GMSKN in a flash. Stay tuned.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome.
So welcome.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
It's Infused Friday. Welcome to today's recipe. But before we get into that, let me give you some information about the benefits of H2O. Infused water adds more to your H2O. It not only gives you the same refreshed feeling that water does, but it adds flavor and nutritional benefits. Adding different combinations of herbs, fruits, and spices to your water can lead to endless combinations that are not only delicious, but extremely good for you. Helping to control bloating, because many women suffer from bloating due to excess salt or hormonal fluctuation. Water-rich foods such as lemon and cucumber can help control this problem. How does this link into relaxation? Well, if you infuse your drink with herbs that are linked to relaxation, such as sage, this often helps. What are the benefits of anti-aging? Well, if you add dark berries and pomegranate seeds, which are rich in antioxidants, this can help protect against the effects of aging. Let's talk about metabolism. Many fruits can boost your metabolism and help with weight loss, so be sure to add in your raspberries, strawberries, tangerines, and any other delicious fruit. Now, let's move on to the recipe for this Friday, which is watermelon and lemon mint. Ingredients: 1 small cup of watermelon pieces, 1 large lemon sliced, and a handful of fresh mints. Now for the directions, very simple. You just need a pitcher and add 1 small cup of watermelon sliced, 1 large lemon slice, and a handful of fresh mint. Muddle ingredients and fill pitcher with ice water, and you're good to go. Add more to your H2O. Check out the Facebook page every Friday for refreshing infused water recipes.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Question: how good was it being a child? Seriously, I really don't know. This is something many of us didn't even notice until decades after because we were too busy wishing we were adults. Absolutely correct, and that's why I don't know. So for today's segment of Loosen Up, Hortensia and I will be reminiscing on what we miss most about being a child. Well, this is really interesting. Yeah, can't wait to hear your take on it. First, though, let's take a look at what some persons online said they miss about being a child. Yeah. You guys are involved.
Being an adult is frustrating. You have too many things to do.
You're jumping the gun.
I'm just gonna say it. I never want to say I want to be 16 or 21 again when I'm a child. I'm gonna enjoy it. Freebies.
Oh, here's what Joy said. The innocence of life. This is what she misses most, right? The innocence of life. Kids live more in the moment. I work to do that now, and it's so natural when you are a kid.
Yep.
I agree with that. There's an innocence there.
Yeah.
There's no real responsibility. Really just
None.
live your life free of consequences. Somebody's there with a safety net. Your adults to catch you. What's the most you got to worry about?
A lash? You get over
You're not
that.
even thinking about that when you're living in the moment. Literally, you're just having a lot of fun. You're pelting stones. I remember one time I was literally on my balcony and I was playing commando with my water gun on passersby. Right up until my aunt came and went commando on me.
See, a lash, but you were enjoying the moment, right?
It was innocent. I was like, hey, this is so much fun. I'm like, hey. Well, thank you, Marion. I never went commando again.
Jamie got a cut tail. Yeah, but it's real. And she's right. As an adult, you have so much to do that you are trying to live in the moment. Then your brain is saying, what about that? What about this? What about that?
We overthink things, literally.
Literally. So Wendy says, thinking there would always be someone there to hold your hand and keep you steady as you walk this journey, for sure.
Ooh, so as an adult, Wendy, what are you saying? You're saying you're by yourself for a lot of it? Charting your own course. Sometimes you don't have that safety net of support.
Mom or dad.
Uncharted territory, basically. You're on your own for a lot of it.
That's why we need to tell the kids to take it easy and don't say, oh, I want to be 16, I want to be 18, I want to be 21, I want to grow up.
You think that?
Kids, you have to work. You have to pay your own bills. You have to buy your own clothes. You have to decide what you're going to cook. You're not going to go home and say, Mommy, what's in the pot? And food's going to be there. No, you have to do everything for yourself. Take it easy. Grow up slow.
Really? Yeah. I don't know. I think it's interesting because we're talking about childhood as opposed to, I suppose, adolescence. Although those in-between years, that's really where the conflict comes because you get more autonomy, you get more freedom, but then there's still this balancing act. It's like, well, how much freedom do I get? Am I going to push the envelope if I do this and so on? Well, we'll see if anybody comments on that because realistically, when you think of people who are 3, 4 single digits, maybe even 10 to 12, you're thinking, okay, there's the innocence there.
Yes.
But then at a certain point, it's like the struggle for more power. I want more freedom.
1-3, it begins.
Oh, it does. Terrible 13s. Terrible teen years.
Only the terrible twos.
All right, so Robert says a sense of wonder in the little things, like the first time looking over the edge of the Grand Canyon. Okay, now that would be great. Yeah, did you wonder how long it would take you to get to the bottom, Robert? No, but it was just great, right? It's like no alarm, no sense of alarm. Really, you're just enjoying things as they are, and it's those little moments. Absolutely right.
Never had to wonder about anything, boy.
No, honestly.
Wow. Adulting is hard. What do you say to that?
I don't know. I remember looking into the sun. I was like, before somebody told me this is a bad thing, I was at a funeral. I think it was probably in St. Paul's. It wasn't even hurting my eyes. I was like, wow, this is really fascinating. And for about 4 minutes, I'm literally looking at the sun and I'm seeing all sorts of spots. It's great. Did that help my eyesight? I think I have 20/20 vision still. That's great.
But after you did that, then you...
Yeah, it was...
You managed to see clearly thereafter?
No, it took me a little while. Okay. But I was like really like no glasses on. I didn't even know that I shouldn't be doing that. And I'm just directly looking into the sun. I thought this is totally cool.
So you've now inherited Superman's retinas.
Well, we'll find out sooner or later, but I'm grateful. I swore I'd be wearing glasses by now. I actually don't need them. So that's a great thing.
Good stuff. So Amy says, I miss spinning in circles for hours. Yes. Jumping off swings and feeling the mud squish between my toes, playing after a good rain. I guess I miss the feeling of being carefree and not having the weight of a lifetime on my shoulders. Don't we all?
Wow,
I ensured my niece and nephew get the experience, while I ensured my niece got this baby of running in the rain. So I put in a shell cap. Her mom was like, you make my child get sick and be like, she ain't gonna get sick. No, she never gets sick. And my nephew just experienced the other day running in the rain. I wish I was there to run in the rain with them because I like stuff like that.
I hate to break it to you, you run in the rain as an adult as well.
No, but I want to run in the rain with them in our swimsuits, with our...
Oh, swimsuits. Yes. Okay,
no,
I got you.
We're not running in the rain in clothes. No, we're just running in the rain in our swimsuits. So we get the squishy mud and stuff. But even as an adult, I may not want the mud on my skin because I might think, oh my God, I'm going to break out. But the kids aren't going to think that. They're going to be like, this is so cool. Mud
really?
Yeah.
All right. Can we try a mud facial? Are we going to do that?
That's good. Mud between the toes, Jamie. And the mud that you put on your face is purified mud. But I'm talking about running in the
Hey, we're not
dirty
talking
mud.
about purified anything here. We're just going to do it. It's going to be unadulterated, okay?
Yeah.
If that's the thing. That's what Amy said, right? So she missed spinning in circles. I don't know. I made mud pies when I was younger. I remember doing that for no apparent reason. I remember the mosquitoes coming around and biting me. I remember all of that. Like it was yesterday, my grandfather's yard. Let's hear what Matt has to say. So Matt, right, being able to live life without having to do things like paying bills.
Matt, we're on the same page, brother. I said it.
Wow. I hate to break it to you, Matt. Some governments allow you not to pay bills, depending on as
What
an
country
adult.
is that? I need to move.
If you can't afford, social assistance programs, etc. Right? But
You still have to, eventually
I
to
get
come
you.
off of that program.
Matt is not one of those people, clearly, which is good for you, Matt. Great
No,
for you,
Matt.
Matt. Awesome. I'm not one of those people either.
Yeah.
So I get it. Yeah, because you've got to pay bills. You've got to think
have
about
to.
management. You've got to think about all these other things that control how you live your life day to day, the quality of life you're going to get. When you're a child, you're not thinking about any of that. You're just upset that you didn't get to talk to your friend after class because your parents came too early.
Too early, yes.
You got homework. And nobody likes homework, even now, Cortesia. I don't like homework.
Oh, okay, because now you're a student. Yeah, so you don't like homework. Or, the kids get upset when they can't get a particular treat or a snack.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember those moments. It's like, yeah, you don't understand that, your parents are not like super mom and super dad or, super grandma, super aunt or uncle. You don't understand. You just think that they have this unlimited supply of resources. So it's like, you got all the money in the world, and whatever I want, I'm going to get I want this. The sad thing is the parents actually do their best to ensure that their children think that they, can supply everything that they need. And good or bad, I don't know. I just miss the reality of it all.
Aw, me too. Boy, me too indeed. Like my nephew, he goes to the supermarket. Instead of walking with his monies, he normally picks up one snack, and then his mother says, "Oh, you're going to pay for that?" He said, "You got the money."
I got it right, exactly. Unlimited supply.
He's not taking his money. His money is left at home in his piggy bank. And if he sees a 5 cents, he'd be like, "I'm letting everybody know I'm putting this in my piggy bank." So it's not like he's taking it up. Everybody knows he found the 5 cents. He's putting it in his piggy bank.
This is all I got to say. BOM or BOD, BOD. The bank of mom, the bank of dad. That's it. You understand? Unlimited supply. That's all we know.
Yep.
Of course, when you get the reality that, you ever had those experiences where teacher says that we need $20 to buy a T-shirt. I never had those experiences, right? Other people did. It's like the parents go, teacher always wants. Tell teacher I said. If she wants you with a T-shirt to pay the money herself. Right? These are the things that really go on.
Then the parents say that, but they still give the kids the money to go and get the T-shirt because they don't want their kids to be left out. And,
it's called peer pressure, Cortesia.
Yeah.
It's
Even
peer
the
pressure.
parents are still dealing with peer pressure from the kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You think it's from the kids or it's from
because if the
other
parents tell the kid, "Oh, I can't afford it," the kid gonna feel bad, make the face, and then the mom will be like, "Okay,
you can't
I got my last $20 chook at the bottom of my wallet. Let me give him to buy the shirt."
You guys spoke with a financial person recently this week when I was off. It's like, how do you train kids to start getting into saving early?
That's why she said bring them in there.
Exactly. So then if you do that, you wouldn't have that problem.
You see, my nephew's smart. He's saving everything, and he's spending it maybe until he get big and he realizes.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. For every $25 that he saves, it would have been like $10 coming up. He would have known that it's going into an account specifically for him that I will decide how he uses it. That's what you call management. It's called, I gave you the piggy bank. It's in my house. It's your rent to me. All right?
It's a rough dad. This is a rough dad. So maybe we can take him to the bank with that piggy bank. But he might have to cut open that piggy bank because there's no way to get the money out.
I guess. Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad idea. That's 40%, right? So
yeah, the money
forget
just goes
80-20. It's 60-40 here.
Yeah.
60 you, 40 me.
Yeah.
Great way to teach math.
Yeah, and I still miss being a kid. But yeah.
Okay, you don't want to grow up, I see.
I would love to. I'm not like a Peter Pan, and I don't want to go to Neverland, but I want some of the responsibilities removed from being an adult. Feel me?
Oh well, you know what? That comes with life, and that's just it. So it is what it is. That's what we're gonna take away from it. We're gonna be back in a moment to continue the show and to continue life as we know it.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
For savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Children, how can you tell a tsunami coming?
Teacher me.
Sammy?
My mother said when uncle jump in the pool and the water spoosh out, that's how you tell a tsunami coming.
Settle down, children, settle down. Do you remember our tsunami song?
Yes! When you feel like shaking and swimming around, you see the ocean gone like a fish on the sand. You should run. The higher gone, a tsunami soon come.
Mommy, uncle not here and the other shake.
Hush your mouth.
Daddy, uncle not here and the sea gone.
Who cares? You don't see all them free fish? Quick, give me the bag.
This is how you tell a tsunami a come. Teacher says so. I would have failed in school, you know.
Sammy, come, let me go. They would have failed anyhow. Let me run, see, Sammy.
When you feel the earth shaking and it's moving all around, you see the ocean gone like a fish on the sand. You should run. The higher ground, a tsunami soon come.
Hi. If you are a smoker, please pay attention to this message. According to the World Health Organization, there are 1.3 billion smokers in the world today, and tobacco kills 1 out of every 2 smokers. Did you know that there is enough nicotine in 5 cigarettes to kill an average adult if ingested whole? There are more than 7,000 chemicals in tobacco smoke, of which more than 250 are known to be harmful. More than 69 are known to cause cancer, and 16 are classified as Group 1 carcinogens. Smoking kills. Are you ignoring that warning every time you smoke? Please stop. Smoking can lead to severe health complications and even death. It affects almost every organ in the body, especially the lungs and heart. It raises blood pressure, increases blood clots, and increases the risk of stroke, heart attack, and cancer. It is hard to quit smoking, but it is not impossible. Don't let tobacco destroy you. Remember the 4 Ds to curb your tobacco cravings. 1. Delay. Set a time limit before you decide to smoke. 2. Drink water. Go get a drink before you do anything else. 3. Do something else. Have a goodie bag handy of other things to do. And 4. Deep breathing. Take at least 10 deep breaths every time you think about smoking. Quit smoking and live a longer and happier life. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yes, it's Friday, which translates to Fun Day here on GMSKN with the Yard Fell. So today we will be playing Real or Cake.
Is that your name? That's what you want people to
The
remember
yard
you as?
flow.
Oh, dear God. Help.
Have you seen the social media challenge where people make realistic looking cakes to trick people? Well, that's exactly what this game is based on. A series of photos will appear on the screen, and Jamie and I will be guessing if it's real or cake. So play along with us and let us know what your guesses are in the comments below. And if you lose in GMSK and Nationland, you owe us a cake. So please be sure to deliver at 327. We thank you.
Really? They might give you a fake.
Oh my God.
Just saying.
Ah.
Given what we're playing right now.
Oh my gosh.
That is definitely
real.
Real.
That cannot be a cake.
It can be, but I think it's real. It is. Well, what are we saying? You just said it cannot be a cake? Of course it can.
Okay, it
I just said
can
it's
be
real.
a cake, but right now it's real.
Ah.
It's real, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's real.
It's really real.
Really real. So they can't, if you cut your silver shoe, your Michael Jacksons, you'll be messing with them. So that's real.
Like somebody really wants to eat a shoe.
But they can't make a shoe cake.
Wow.
Yep.
Can you imagine stepping in that?
Ooh.
That is definitely cake.
That looks like a cake, yeah.
Doritos cake.
Cake.
Let's have it.
You can see the shininess. Yeah, it's cake.
Does it
Although the
taste
bag
like
is shiny in
Doritos?
real life.
Does it taste like Doritos? Because that's what I want. I'm already anticipating Doritos. I might actually go pick some up right now. Well, after this, yeah. Doritos.
Dorito cake. Doritos should make cake.
Yeah, salty. Oh, that's definitely cake.
That's a cake. That pepper's too shiny. Oh, that might be real. But I'm sticking to cake.
Yeah, now you are once the answer's already gone up.
No, but
Yeah.
I should have said what I said before because you can see how it is. It's not that realistic.
I don't know how we're doing this when we're not even there in person because, like, literally we'd have to be touching these things.
No, but you can see
to
the textures.
If they are or not, right? So
The average pepper is not going to be that flat on top. It's going to have a little perk up once it's freshly picked.
So it's not the average pepper then?
No, it's not the average pepper.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, this is one way to guarantee that people don't eat what you leave around.
Real. That is real.
I think that is real.
The pepperoni says it all.
I feel like that's real. I don't know.
That can't be cake. That's real. That's
Besides,
real.
it's giving me stomach aches right now just thinking about eating a pizza that looks like a cake. So it's real.
Like eating the cake that looks like a Doritos.
No, that one's fine because I could literally taste the Doritos.
Who wants Doritos and cake, Jamie? That's not going to go well.
I need to
It's
go
not
pick a
gonna be
pack of
savory.
Doritos right now. Like, seriously.
Oh my God,
Just
now
give me
Jamie
that
has a
credit.
craving.
Yeah. Not for pizza. Is it Tuesday? The only time I buy pizza?
It's fried. Oh, you go on the adult economy efficient day.
Yeah.
That is a cake. Those laces, they ain't real.
No, that's not real. That's
That's a cake.
real. It's on the floor,
That's
Hortensia.
a cake.
That's real.
That's a cake. Hortensia is sticking to the fact that it's a cake. I thank you. That shoes, that Converse is too lopsided to be a real Converse.
Oh, I see.
I wear those shoes, so I know that's not a real Converse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I want any cake that looks like a shoe.
Listen, but we just had the silver shoe that could have been turned into a cake.
I know that.
Uh-huh.
But no.
The front of that shoes need
creative,
to be a little bit more pointier, and then the black needs to come up a bit more in the middle so it can be even.
Oh, that's an easy
my
cake to
God.
make. That's a cake.
But no, that's real. That is real.
That is an easy cake to make.
That's real. Okay then. You will know it's a cake.
What are you
It will
guys
it will
doing?
have smudgy. It won't be like that.
Not always. It could be a perfectionist.
You see why we need to point this so I can be doing some yard foul jigs?
Hortensia, we're going to call you a foul after this.
I know
You
who
really
I
want
am.
that name?
I know who I am.
Wow. That doesn't
That's a
even look
cake.
appetizing, I have to say.
That's
Honestly, I don't know what that is.
That's a cake.
Tell me it's not real either.
Baby, so you said a natural cake is good. So this is somebody's preference.
Does that look appetizing to you?
Yes, it's sausage and bread.
Hortensia, really?
It's sausage and bread. Somebody likes sausage and bread and mayonnaise on toasted buns.
Yeah.
Where's the cake?
Love how you guys just zoomed in on me to catch my facial expression right away. It's like, take it away.
Where's the cake? Can we have cake?
This is not. Oh my gosh.
Alrighty.
It's even worse than I thought.
Well, your Doritos cake is worse than I thought. That's a cake. Jamie, just look at the textures. Do you see why I should be a judge at every food show? Because I just know how it goes.
That does not look appetizing in the least.
I got a thumbs up. It doesn't,
gosh.
but it might taste. Because that's not real sausage in there. They make cake to look like sausage.
That is a cake.
That is real. Where's the police, please? That is
It's on a cake stand, Hortensia.
That is real. That's a floppy hat that somebody put on a cake stand to trick you. It's a cake?
Really? Of course it's
That's
a cake.
a
But
cake? No, that
it's
looks like
on a
Mr.
cake
Wilson's
stand.
floppy hat.
It's on a cake stand. Everything you
People
said
can
to
trick
me,
us.
everything
People
you
can
said to me about things being lopsided, etc., you should have picked up
Floppy hats are
from that hat.
lopsided.
Plus, it's on a cake stand.
But people can do that to trick us and stuff it.
Clearly, they didn't.
That's a real.
That is real.
That's a real banana. Banana, a real one. That's real.
It is real. It's not a cake.
Who said that was a cake has to buy a cake?
That's what I heard earlier, yeah.
Exactly.
It is real.
I wonder how the folks in GMSK Nation is doing. So tell me if you got the hat as wrong as I did.
Oh, dear goodness. Say it isn't so. Really. Say it isn't so. What is that? Lather?
That is a cake. That is a cake. I'm going to go with a cake. Okay, you said that's soap. Okay, that's a cake.
That is soap.
That's cake.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't want any cake looking like that. I'd be afraid that somebody got mixed up and when their hands were dirty, they went and touched it up. Right? No, sorry. No.
Maybe that's a cake.
No way.
Don't you see the person that's cutting it even look like they have a glove on? So that's why I got the idea too.
The glove on?
That's why
I can see the nails. What are you talking about?
Look, that's a red glove.
Hortensia, can't you see?
Everybody sees things
Hortensia, there is
differently.
no glove.
That's a red glove.
Oh, dear God.
Work with me
There
here.
is
It's
no
a red
glove. Can't you see the cuticle?
It's a red, because the glove is red and it's kind of meshy and you can see through because it's a cook glove, yeah.
Lies
That's the only
Hortensia
reason why you
told
can see
me.
that.
Lies Hortensia told me. All right.
Perception, huh? He's wearing a
Perception?
glove.
Truth. Reality.
He's wearing a glove.
Wearing a glove. That's so funny. Rubber ducky
Rub-
cake
rub ducky.
or real rubber ducky?
That's a real rubber ducky, man.
Actually, I could see this at a child's party, so I would say this is a cake.
Rubber
Seriously.
ducky. That is the squeaky rubber ducky that you bathe with in the bath. Well, the kids, not us.
No, the soap bar is what you bathe with.
Yeah, but you
But
squeak with
unfortunately, it became a cake.
Yeah, but this is a rubber
So,
ducky.
We're going to flip it here.
I'm sticking to this being a real rubber ducky. That is not a cake. Real rubber ducky. Rubber ducky.
It's difficult. You know what? At this point, I think that we need a taste test.
You want to taste the soap? That's real?
Taste or touch.
Imagine
Use
you
your
trying to
senses
cut rubber ducky, huh? Poor rubber ducky. You do this squeak. Why you cutting me? Squeak. Why you cutting me?
now. Wouldn't that be interesting if you had a cake that actually did that squeak when you go to cut it?
The rubber ducky will. You have
Okay.
to cut him down. That's a cake, man.
That is a real bag.
That's too easy.
I've seen that bag. I've refused to buy that bag
Was it a land bag?
because the last leather bag that I had left a stain. I still have it, by the way, on my white
Trouser?
shirts.
Oh.
I had it when I went to CFBC.
Oh, but that's a cake. Well, Jamie, if you wear this is going to melt on you. You're going to be a hot mess walking down the road. But this is a cake, definitely a cake. The strap is laid down too, precisely.
I see.
Yeah, and it's too bulky.
Right.
So this could have been a lawyer's cake.
Imagine that.
Yeah, you got a lot of cases to handle, you know.
So it's a briefcake.
Briefcake. Yep, it is a briefcake. Well, GMSK Nation, you have to tell us how you did figuring out whether it's real or cake. And remember, if you lost, you have to bring us cake. Stay tuned. Much more after this short break.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. It's time to let you know what's happening. We're beginning with Share the Dignity. So Project Dignity presents Share the Dignity Convention. This is an all-female convention for girls between the ages of 13 to 18, being held on November 6th, which is a Sunday, from 3:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Ross University School. Speakers for this event include Gloria Esdale Robinson, Kayla Byron Nisbet, Taylor Et, Sweet Sister Sensia, Lois Harris, and Leslie Broadbelt. Registration is free. To register your child or ward, contact 869-663-2891, that's 2891, or email, and I'm going to spell it again, that's zacauces@gmail.com, zacauces@gmail.com.
I like that, zacauces.
Yes.
Like France.
Definitely so. Share the dignity. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to share our goodbyes to you. We want to thank you guys for joining us today for another edition of Good Morning SKN. Of course, remember to tune in daily. That's Monday to Friday from 8 to 10 to find a little bit of everything for everyone. Hopefully you found a little bit of something that you were looking for today, and you let your friends and family members know, co-workers too, that we are here. You can follow us on our social media platforms, including Facebook and YouTube at Studio 327 Inc., and on Instagram at Good Morning SKN. Remember to like, subscribe, follow, and share. And of course, remember to check out our website at www.studio327inc.com to learn more about Good Morning SKN and Studio 327 in general.
Yes, and remember, as Jamie says, subscribe. We're still working on our goal. I have not forgotten. And this is where we always ask you to leave us a comment and let us know what was your favorite part of today's show. If you need me to teach you the chicken, you can also call me up. Yeah, or the yard fowl, aka the yard fowl. So have a have a great weekend. This is where we say see you on Monday at 8 a.m. when you start your morning with us right here at Good Morning SKN. Thank you guys for watching. Have a fantastic Friday. Bye.
Enjoy the weekend, guys.